Greetings, fandom. My name is Andre, and in this video, I'm about to say something many of you will not like. I'm about to say something that many of you will disagree, but I'm here to say what I have to say. So here it is. I detest, I despise, and I hate PC and mobile games. And I'm going to tell you why. As someone who has dedicated his entire life in playing these video games on certain platforms, I have always believed that these things should come at a certain exclusivity. Like the thought that I have access to these kinds of games and all that. I'm one of the chosen few. I'm one of the chosen few who have actually spent their entire life playing such games and doing it on very certain platforms, consoles and arcades in general, because this is where it all funneled out. Okay, as someone who has played video games in these specific platforms and in these traditional ways, I have come to play these games very religiously. Very religiously. Okay? And one of those few games that I have played very religiously are the core series Pokemon games. Well, in my case, I grew up playing Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, which were exclusive to the Nintendo DS, and were made available on the succeeding console Nintendo 3DS due to the backward compatibility. But that's not the main point here. The main point here is that these are games, think about it, these are games that you've spent your whole life working and playing so hard. And eventually these games would suddenly get emulated and all that, and then you're gonna see their style of play that you don't really prefer, that you find very distasteful, just like what you're gonna think of this video right here. But again, I said what I had to say. And the main reason why such games shouldn't really be around or shouldn't really be a thing is because the main access the sudden accessibility of these games are a huge insult to us console gamers who have dedicated so much, who have dedicated so much time on our hands just to play these games, and then who have dedicated so much time, who have spent so much money on these platforms, and then people are just gonna emulate that shit. Like, wow, that is fucking insulting. And here's another thing. Back in 2016, okay, I actually had this discussion or debate with my other friends who are fans of Pokemon. And people back in the day were like playing Pokemon Go, because apparently that was the most that was the it Pokemon, that was the it game. All right. And as someone who has played Pokemon for so many years on the dedicated consoles, I'm gonna show you one myself here. This console right here, this 3DS. I also have a Nintendo DS over there, but like, as someone who grew up playing these games on these devices, and then I see people who are suddenly playing these games that have become more accessible by making them available on Android phones or smartphones. That was a fucking insult to me. To these game companies, to these people who allow this to happen. How fucking dare you? I was insulted, but at the same time, I've seen people who are genuinely enjoying the Pokemon games, that were available on mobile, and so I'll give that a pass because um, who the fuck am I to take away their enjoyment? Who the fuck am I to take away their joy, their happiness in playing those games? But the fact that it was in a platform that are so fucking accessible to people. And here I am, who has spent my entire life playing these games on certain platforms. That is a fucking insult to me. More so of a fucking insult when a friend of mine, okay, actually disagreed with what I thought of Pokemon Go. Like, this is breaking traditions here. Like, I for one have always played these games religiously. And suddenly, these game companies are gonna make these games available on other platforms? That broke my heart. But it still makes me happy to see that these people have enjoyed playing those games. And for that, I and for that I am just really happy for them. Because if that's if that's their source of enjoyment, then so be it. But that is something that I will forever resent. PC and mobile games. The reason why I say these sorts of games shouldn't exist is that they're more accessible than the ones and they're more accessible than the games that I have played. And because of this, because of the fact that these games are more accessible, like they get more attention than the actual games that are actually good. Take for example the ones that the console games right now, like Tekken, Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, Pac-Man, Mega Man, like those kinds of games that are in consoles. Like the accessibility of these kinds of games are depriving these people of the good quality games that are actually there. There are those kinds of good quality games, it's just that like you're in the wrong fucking platform to play them. And as much as I enjoy seeing these people being happy about these PC and mobile games, I feel sorry for them because they will never, ever reach the zenith of us console gamers who have actually had that full-blown experience when it comes to that. The full-blown experience of traditional gaming. And that's something that we need to bring back. The fact that dedicated handheld gaming has died out and has become a thing of the past because of mobile gaming. And the fact that dedicated handheld gaming is a platform in which I grew up playing, that shit fucking hurts. But times change, and I gotta deal with that. Times change, and I guess these companies just don't make handhelds anymore, except maybe the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is kinda the only notable handheld in the market right now. And so, this being said, the fact that many of these games have become more accessible, may it be PC games, mobile games, or emulators at that. That is a big fuck you to me. And to all the console gamers out there. Instead of making these games more accessible, here's the thing. Instead of making more accessible games, why not make these consoles more accessible. Like, that's something that I would rather take, you know? Like, I don't fucking know how to do it. Like make more stores that sell consoles, make them cheaper, or I mean, yeah, PlayStation 5 has gotten cheaper, but that's not my point here. Like, make them cheaper, or make them cheaper. Make more stores that sell these consoles. Maybe I would take that alternative. I would take that. I would be glad of that. But the fact that instead of doing these things, like the gaming world prefers to have these games more accessible, that's not dedication. If anything, I've seen more shit than dedication in these kinds of games, especially in the esports scene. Okay, the fact that the esports world prefers games like Dota 2, League of Legends, Valorant, Mobile Legends, and all that other competitive games that are strictly available only in PC and mobile, and while overshadowing us, console gamers, that is a big fuck you to us. And that is something that I will forever resent. But if that's a game that they like to play, then who the fuck am I to judge them? I cannot judge them, but I can forever resent to that community who only prefers these games out of PC and mobile. I will forever resent that. That is all I need to say. Thank you.